city of the West, a city that's growing rapidly, but probably is best known as the headquarters for the Mormon Church. And today, under the protective dome of the Special Events Center in Salt Lake City, the finest women gymnasts in the nation have come to compete, decide who is the best all-around gymnast. It's the 1982 McDonald's Women National Gymnastics Championships. Hello again, everyone. I'm John Tesh, and this national championship is easily the most important gymnastic event in 1982 for our American women. And joining me with his expert commentary is a gentleman who back in the 1976 Olympics came away with a bronze medal in the men's floor exercise. He is Peter Corman. And Peter, what a fine field assembled today.
This certainly is a fine field. All our returning world championship team is here. Tracy Talavera, Julianne McNamara, now ranked amongst the world's best. But there's another story unfolding here, that of young Amy Koopman. Amy's lacked some experience in the past, but she's had a whole year of international competition. She looks great, and she's currently ranked second after the compulsory round.
And this national championship is divided into two parts, the compulsories and the optionals. These young women have already completed their compulsory exercises, the basic required moves in gymnastics, on the four disciplines, the vault, the uneven bars, the balance beam, and the floor exercise. But we're going to get a chance to show you the more difficult, certainly the more exciting, optionals. And then the optional scores will be combined with the compulsories, and the young lady with the highest score will be our national champion. And right now, coming into the optionals after the compulsory round, Julianne McNamara is number one.
America's most successful female gymnast in history, Julianne McNamara, captured this event in 1980 and is after a second today.
But chasing Julianne is a name we've heard a lot lately, Chicago's Amy Koopman.
One of the fastest rising stars in the American scene. The stage is set for Amy Koopman.
And right behind Amy is Gina Stallone.
It's been a tremendous season for Gina as well, as she now makes her bid for the national title.
As you take a look at the standings, rounding out the field after the compulsories, we have a surprise. Defending 1981 all-around champion Tracy Talavera finds herself in 5th place. We'll have the optional exercises in just a moment. And look, after two rotations, Amy Koopman, Julianne McNamara tied for first. Our defending champion Tracy Talavera in 4th place. Here's Tracy now. She's just completed her first of two vaults. She got a 9.55 on her first. Of course, these gymnasts are allowed two vaults. They take the best score of the two.
A very good vault by Tracy Talavera. Difficult vault, and she did it very well. Let's take another look at that. An explosive takeoff off the board gives Tracy the power she needs to complete this very difficult vault.
Now remember, Tracy got a 9.55 on the first vault. If this score is better, she'll of course take that score, and that'll help her all around total. And yes, 9.60 for Tracy in that second vault, so she'll take that one. And because she was the first woman in that rotation, she takes the lead. Here's Amy Koopman. She was tied for the lead after the second rotation with Julianne McNamara, 15 years old. And we asked her earlier if the pressure was too much for her.
Not really. I usually don't think of it that way. I just think, you know, I'm having fun. I'm doing what I like to do. And, you know, I like to, you know, express my feelings through gymnastics. So, it's fun.
Well, if it's fun, Peter Corman, it also has to be nerve-wracking because this apparatus, the balance beam, requires intense concentration.
It certainly does. And in a competition like this, where the smallest mistake can keep you from the lead, the nerves really play an important factor.
Again, the balance beam 4 feet high, 4 inches wide, 16 feet long. You hear the applause there and the music. Remember that there are 4 gymnasts competing at one time in this all-around competition. And that up-tempo music right there, Peter, that has to be disconcerting when you're on something that requires the precision, the balance beam.
It is, especially to the inexperienced competitors. Amy has had a very good year in competition. She looks very well at this point.
What a close race in this all-around competition. Koopman, of course...
Oh, she's off balance. She's going to lose it. She's off the balance beam. A critical error there. Boy, that's really going to hurt her. That's a straight 5/10 plus a form deduction. She can't afford another mistake now. She's got to go right through this exercise flawlessly.
Well, the judges do allow her to get back on the beam after that.
Yes, they do. She has 30 seconds to return, but she chose to keep with the intensity level and try to get through the rest of the routine. Can't let it bother her now. She's just got to work as though it never happened.
Koopman trying to regain her composure here on the beam. Remember, she was...
There's a little fall again. She's almost through the exercise, however. Only the dismount sequence left. And she's off, but a critical error here is going to change the standings.
Tough break for Amy Koopman on the balance beam after she fell. Oh, she has to be disappointed there.
And let's see what happened. She's performing a front aerial somersault. No hands on the beam. Shoulders a little too far to the right. Loses balance and can't bring it back.
Right. Amy's score on the balance beam, an 8.95. Disappointing. That's really going to cost her her battle for first place with Julianne McNamara. Here's Julianne. Her first vault was a 9.50. She's preparing for her second attempt.
And this is a very strong event for Julianne. She's done the vault a long time. Excellent vault.
Good girl. That does my heart a lot better. That's nice. Now just swing your bars.
Julie's coach, Dick Mulvihill. And now the replay on the vault. The same vault that Tracy Talavera does, her teammate, in the tuck position. Dick was alluding to the fact that Julianne only has one event left, and that's her best event, the uneven parallel bars.
Here's Julianne's score for the vault. That second vault was higher, 9.65. So she is our leader. And here is Gina Stallone on the uneven parallel bars. She would need a 9.95 to beat out Julianne for the lead.
While that may be a little tough, she is right in the battle right now. Amy's mistake on the balance beam could affect Gina's standing as well. So she's in a good position now. She has to get through this routine without any minor mistakes.
Gina showing how much arm strength, upper body strength is needed to complete this exercise.
A new dismount here for Gina, added to increase the difficulty of this routine. Very nice. That's a super routine.
Gina Stallone was in third place after 2 rotations. And again, she would need a 9.95 to take the lead away from Julianne McNamara. Perfect score, of course, would be a 10.0. As you look at Julianne McNamara, our leader at this point, also waiting for Gina Stallone's score. Stallone's 9.65 for Gina. Not enough for first place, but she grabs second in the all-around competition. And an unfortunate error on the balance beam forces Amy Koopman into fourth place. Our defending champion, Tracy Talavera, is in third. We'll be back with the final rotation that will decide the national champion in just a moment. And with a commanding lead.
And has a commanding lead, and she's going into her best event, the uneven parallel bars. But anything can happen in a competition like this.
Julianne is such a seasoned competitor, Peter. You got to believe that she's ready for this one.
I'm sure she's very confident right now. She's the current world medalist on the uneven parallel bars. Has won the national championship before. I'll bet she's glad she had this event last. Trying to get to a safe routine here without any major mistakes, and she should have the title. Oh, there's a mistake. She went back down to the bar. Not a real critical error, however. If she can come back from that, she should still be able to save it. Oh, no. Back again. Another mistake. 2 in a row. She's short. She's short. She's not going to make it. She's off the bars. She fell off the uneven parallel bars. That's it. It's going to be hard to come back from this one now. She may have just lost the national championship.
Julianne McNamara, and as you called it, Peter, all she had to do was just stay on the bars, and she really had the championship locked up.
What an incredible mistake for her to make on her best event.
Too bad, honey. Too bad. The top a little too soon.
Boy, disappointment for Julianne McNamara. She's been the story here at these national championships. She's led after every rotation, had the championship within grasp, and then those problems on the uneven bars. Peter?
Let's see what happened here. She's going up to a handstand, struggling, but successfully completed it and came very short of making this skill, and I have to believe that was a mental error. And now the most critical mistake, short of the handstand, couldn't get over and fell right off the bars.
We're waiting for Julianne's score. An 8.90, and that'll push her down into the pack. And suddenly, this whole women's national championship in the all-around is up for grabs. What a topsy-turvy event. Here is Gina Stallone. She was in third place all the way through this event. Now she's in second, needs a 9.40 to take the title.
Very capable of doing this on one of her better events. I'll tell you right now, Gina Stallone must be saying to herself, I can have it if I want it. It's right there for me to take.
The story here was McNamara leading, Amy Koopman tying McNamara for first place, Gina Stallone in third place through most of the championship. Now she has a chance to win it all.
A tumbling pass coming up here, one of her more difficult runs. Oh, no, she's off balance. She's pulling it back, though. Nope. She's going to fall. She's going to be off the beam. She fell off the balance beam. Another major mistake. What an unusual event this is. Top girls making mistakes that hardly ever happen to their routines. We've seen 3 of them today. Amy Koopman, Julianne McNamara, and now Gina Stallone.
Boy, the balance beam has really proved to be the nemesis of this championship, Peter. First, Amy Koopman fell off, and now Gina Stallone. Remember, that beam is only 4 inches wide.
And it was a hard tumbling skill, just like Amy's tumbling pass, that knocked her off the beam. And it's hard for me to believe it's like this, though. One mistake after another. Very rarely happens at a national championship. It's got to be the pressure. There's one young lady right now in this arena who can take it all. The very consistent performer, Tracy Talavera.
Gina Stallone completing her balance beam after that really costly mistake. Does Tracy Talavera have a chance at grabbing this all-around title? But Amy Koopman.
That's right. She's back in the race now. She was knocked all the way down to 4th, but she's got another chance.
Let's look at this mistake here.
Oh, leaning too far to the left and now back to the right. She tried to save it and almost did, but you can see she's gone.
Gina's score on beam, a 9.00, respectable considering that fall. And now Tracy Talavera, who was in 5th place coming into the optionals, has a chance at the title, as does Amy Koopman, who also fell off the balance beam. If she can score a 9.65 in this floor exercise, she will move into 1st place.
It's hard for me to believe that Amy Koopman is back in this contest. We'd written her off when she fell off the balance beam, and she's a very strong competitor on the floor. She's a tremendous dancer and an excellent tumbler. She cannot, however, make even the simplest mistake. Oh, no, that's enough. That's enough to keep her out of the contest. She put her hands down, and that's a critical error at this point in the meet. She needed a 9.65. She's not going to get it now after that mistake. What an interesting twist of events.
Amy Koopman, who early on fell off the balance beam after she had been tied with Julianne McNamara several times during the course of this championship. Koopman had a second chance here in the floor exercise, and Peter, she just couldn't capitalize. And so Julianne McNamara finds herself in 1st place, but her teammate, Tracy Talavera, is next to go on the uneven parallel bars, and she all of a sudden has a chance at the championship.
All the way from 5th place, Tracy's moved up in the optional round of competition. An incredible comeback.
Amy Koopman completing her floor exercise.
And she certainly must feel some disappointment right now.
'15-year-old Amy Koopman from Chicago. Boy, you can see it on her face, Peter.
She's definitely thinking, I made 2 major errors. I could have had it, and it slipped through my fingers twice.
There's her score for the floor X, 9.50. And again, even with that bobble, it was respectable, but not enough to take the lead. And so Julianne McNamara is in 1st place. And the one young lady in this arena right now that can take the championship away from her is her own teammate, Tracy Talavera, the defending national champion. There's Julie with their coach, Dick Mulvihill.
This is a very strong event for Tracy. She does an extremely hard routine, and she's very consistent with it. She needs a 9.6.
before you can hear the hush of this crowd.
Tracy is so confident, so experienced. She's almost done now. Just get off, land the dismount. That could do it. That should be enough to take the title.
That's the all-around right there.
Well, Dick Mulvihill, Tracy's coach, thinks that she's got it. She has to get a 9.60. We will wait for her score.
Congratulations. Good job. Congratulations.
We'll be back with Tracy's score in just a moment.
He prevailed by tenths of a point over the second-place finishing Julianne McNamara last night in Salt Lake City. Amy Koopman finished third. Gina Stallone wound up fourth. And so we will see you tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Game 2 of the NBA World